Good morning, guys. It is October 7th, 2025, Tuesday, and you're here at the Hat and Beard Show. It's a gray and a rainy day here across mid-Michigan, and, we've got some news to kind of coincide with that. Not to bury the lead, guys, but the top story around Detroit Lions land is Terrion Arnold injury update. Lions cornerback will be out for, quote, a long time. So some crummy news to go with some crummy weather, but not to bury the lead. The first story we will be talking about to make your mood a little bit better, those of you who are like me and are kind of sick and tired of the Kansas City Chiefs having every single thing handed to them on a silver platter. Chiefs, Jaguars on Monday Night Football. What we learned from Jacksonville's 31-28 win, and I personally couldn't be any happier. Not the biggest Andy Reid fan, not the biggest Kansas City Chiefs fan, though I do give respect to Patrick Mahomes and what he's been able to do this early on in his career, though, maybe that star might have burned a little too bright, a little too early. We'll see what this article has lined up for us. Then, of course, we will be walking on over to, get out of here. Over to CBS Sports. That's the poll that we randomly selected to follow for our power rankings all season long. NFL Week 6 power rankings. The Lions rise, the Jets sink, and parity rules. Just how the NFL likes it. Pardon my throat nonsense going on here. Pete Piscario shares his power rankings heading into Week 6 of the 2025 NFL season. And by golly, boys and girls, do you come to realize that we are coming upon the precipice of a third of the way through this year already? Hi, where did the season go, boys and girls? That is just something that just dawned on me just now. Just had that moment of realization. Then we're going to go ahead and roll down over to the Motor City and see what's breaking off over here in mid-Michigan. Terrion Arnold injury update. Lions cornerback will be out for a, quote, long time. The Detroit Lions are suddenly shorthanded at corner after Terrion Arnold suffered an injury that will keep him sidelined long term. And boys and girls, history doesn't repeat, but it sure does rhyme. Third verse, same as the first. We are starting to head into the battered and broken waters of last year, though not as catastrophic, at least yet. But Terrion Arnold, who knows? Maybe the whole season he's done for. I don't necessarily know the exact details of the injury. I've only seen some headlines come across my screen, but we'll dive into that and see what's going on, as then we'll be bopping on over to Detroit Lions on SI. We know this familiar face. Ooh, wouldn't I have egg all over my face after taking a big splash in the pond of schadenfreude the last couple weeks, seeing that CJGJ got cut by the Austin Texans because he's a piece of shit. External cornerback options Lions could consider to replace Terrion Arnold. Will the Lions add a new cornerback soon? And, well, you're going to have to. I mean, sheer bodies alone. I need a body out there. Who do we have? We will poke around at some names. Nobody we really talked about prior to. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out here. I am a big at this point. Okay, we are in case of fire, break glass. Okay, we can't have a guy come in just to be a nice little stash depth piece, right? We can't be at that spot anymore. In case of fire, break glass. Here at the Hat and Beard Show, I am pounding the war drum. You better be calling Stephon Gilmore every single hour of every single day, seeing exactly how many dollary dues it's going to cost to put him in the Honolulu Blue. Then we will head on over to Lions reportedly interested in young athletic cornerback with starting experience. The Detroit Lions have interest in young athletic cornerback amidst all of their injuries. And spoiler alert, Detroit Sports Talk, my guy. Me and Detroit Sports Talk are in the exact same boat when we get to the name of this individual. So if you're watching the chat pre-show, you'll know exactly who we have lined up and who we're just champing at the bit to go ahead and bring into the Motor City. Could be a sneaky little futuristic move. Something along the lines of, look, I still am high on Tyler Lacey at the defensive end spot. You never know. And all I'm saying is Brad Holmes, outside of rookie cornerback selections, has a really good eye for talent, though has missed at every single corner we have drafted so far in the Brad Holmes tenure. And then, of course, if we have time, you guys know that Tuesdays are for Tom Grassi. Every NFL fan's reaction to Week 5. I'm sure that our girl Brandy has already seen this video, but we're going to go ahead and watch that at the end of the episode, barring how long we run into the 11 o'clock hour. But how we doing? How we doing? Mad Hatter Nation. Brent DeWitt, Scuttlebutt is the Sea Chickens might move on from Tariq Woolen, although someone was saying he's injured. Sounds like a Brad guy. He was playing decent ball a couple years ago. So I asked him, I was like, wasn't he like all world a couple years back? What happened to Tariq Woolen? Why are they moving on from Tariq Woolen? Mr. Detroit City, I think I seen in the chat as well. Yep, the TA is ass and not the good kind. At this point, dude, I was unfortunately just having this conversation with a guy at work, another big Lions fan. Actually, strangely enough, we went like a full year. Now, he works for a separate company within the building that I work for, but we went like a full year without even talking to each other. And then I had a Lions hat on one day, and he said something about the Lions. Come to find out, dude's a huge Lions fan, bro. Watches all the games, and it's always a breath of fresh air when you meet a fellow Lions fan out in the wild who also understands ball. Like, I love it when I talk to people who know ball. It is so exciting. And he actually inspired me to finally get over the edge here of something that I've been kind of tossing back and forth about Terrion Arnold. Now, early on, I said that he didn't have the Jeff Okudah comparison because he wasn't drafted so high, and we didn't have to put his big boy shitting pants on right out the rip. He ended up earning his spot, right, whereas Jeff Okudah had all that pressure put on him. But, unfortunately, like I said earlier on, the third verse, same as the first, and Jeff Okudah and Terrion Arnold seeming to mirror each other as far as their tenure in the Motor City. So I had to ask the question in the poll, is Terrion Arnold on Bust Highway? Giving you three options. 62% of you say, yes, he is Jeff Okudah all over again. 0% of you are saying, no, not yet, but he's gassing up the truck. And then 38% of you say, no, he needs more time. So a little bit of a polarizing divide amongst the Mad Hatter Nation, and that's totally cool. That's what we are here for. We like to take your guys' views and see if we can't hammer out something, see it from a different angle that I'm not necessarily seeing. My mom's here. Good morning. Gotta admit, I like the Chef's loss. They seem stunned. Go Lions. Yeah, I liked it as well. A little bit of schadenfreude there as well. Chase is here. Morning, Mad Hatter Nation. How you doing, brother? Good to see you on a Tuesday. Ooh, how you doing, brother? I can't quite do the Macho Man voice. We've been having some little bit of like vocal fry the past couple days here. I don't know what's going on. What's up, Art? Good to see you, dude. TA is not asked. Remember how long it took Slay to become All-Pro? Hey, okay, there you go, Art. All right, see? That's what I'm talking about. You guys talking me off the ledge, bringing out another viewpoint. I completely forgot about Darius Big Play Slay. Completely forgot about him. Wish he could have spent his whole career in the Motor City. But old Needle Dick Matt Patricia went ahead and put a kibosh to that, didn't he? Woolen is not on Seattle's injuries list at the moment. He was All-Pro as a rookie in 22. Not sure why they trade him. Yeah, that's a good question, dude. Now, guys, if there is a world where you can acquire Tariq Woolen for relatively low draft capital, and I'm talking, we know, almost knocked my coffee over. We know Brad Holmes likes to deal those third-round picks. I'd be okay with dealing a third round and some maybe a couple other draft assets past the third round, future picks, future drafts for a Tariq Woolen. I think he's still got a lot in the tank and could maybe use a fresh start here in the Motor City. I believe he was a Pete Carroll guy, correct? He was drafted by Pete Carroll, maybe not meshing with the new coaching staff. If he is trade bait, I would love to see it happen. What's up, Derek? How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. I don't call any player bust until the third year. That's fair, Brent. I'm going to go to the Lions next game and got row 4 tickets. I know about a few hundred people going to the game will be screaming on third down for the Chiefs to try to get 3 and out. Go Lions. Dude, that's going to be an absolutely awesome game to go to. Detroit Sports Talk. What's up, Hat Whitlock? Derek, I love it, brother. I absolutely love it. All right, guys, good morning. Y'all, how we doing? Do all the things if you got time. go ahead and hit the like button on this video. Share this video around with everyone you know. Even if you got to just copy down on your clipboard, it still counts, but the more eyeballs and the more things we can do, we are trying to get out of the little room here because we really messed with the algorithm during the Charlie Kirk stuff. But if you could, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Ring that notification bell so you can be notified every time we go live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here at YouTube.com. Coming to you from Grandma's Studio One. It's the Hat and Beard Show. Guys, now that that's all out of the way, let's dive into the show.
If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well, then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
All right, guys, I do want to shout out both Beaver. How you doing, Beaver? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. 2 days in a row. Damn, brother. Look at you, dude. Starting to become an MVP. And Detroit Sports Talk both brought up some good points. Beaver Nugs, we will be talking about CJ GJ, unfortunately. And Detroit Sports Talk brought up we still have Avonte Maddox, and he can play both corner and safety. Yes, we do have those hybrid players. But obviously, if you're going to be borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, you're going to have to pay up eventually. You know what I'm saying? So even if we were to move Maddox to the corner spot, it's going to leave us a little light in the pants back at safety. Now, if we're happy with the safeties we have on the practice squad, then it's a little bit of an easier transition. But you're kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul in that type of situation. Though, in game, that obviously works out to our advantage because it gives you kind of an extra roster spot through just physicality of the players alone. But long-term, it's more of a bridge, temporary triage than a long-term solution. My opinion, you know what I'm saying? Dan said the train stops for nobody. Do your job. No excuses. Dan Campbell said, I'm in the empire business. This train stops for no one. You know what I'm saying? But I do agree with you, Mr. Detroit City. I've been waiting to win my whole life. I don't like waiting for guys to develop. And unfortunately for TA, okay, all of our first-round picks, the majority of our second-round picks, all have flourished early on in their career, where TA seems to be kind of the outlier at this point. Now, the same could be said for Jameson Williams early on. The injury, the suspension, the lack of production, finally going over 1,000 with 1,001 yards last year. But now the last 2 weeks, he's been a complete ghost town in the Motor City. I think we're kind of accustomed to Brad Holmes' guys flourishing early and ascending and maintaining their ascension, whereas TA has been a little bit more like this. You know what I'm saying? I was talking with a buddy at work of mine, and I was saying, TA has regressed to where he was at this point his rookie year. What I needed was for TA to at least maintain his play from where he finished last season and then continue to ascend. But if anything, he's regressed back to where he was prior to the bye week last year. TA needs to stop all the TikToks and study more film. Jack, good morning, and how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. I completely agree with you, dude. I think social media and these guys wanting to be in two separate worlds. Some guys can do it, right? Look at Amon-Ra. He can do it. Kirby Joseph does a lot of the Lions social media stuff. If you guys get a chance, the Lions little milk and cookies thing that they do where they sit down with kids is hilarious. And Kirby Joseph is a very entertaining individual. So if you get a chance, check that out. But I agree with you. He needs to get his keister off the TikTok and into the film room, especially now that you're injured. You have nothing better to do than to polish, study. You know what I'm saying? Chiefs, Jags on Monday Night Football. What we learned from Jacksonville's 31-28 win. Guys, this coming to us from NFL.com. Lawrence leads Jags to a crazy win. Whoopsie daisy, getting a little wild and out of control here. In one game-winning stumble to 6, Trevor Lawrence summed up his and the Jags' performance in dramatic. This is who we are. Win over the Chefs on Monday night. stepped on by his right guard. Lawrence fell to the Everbank Stadium turf on 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. His first attempt to rise to his feet failed, but his second try led him running through a tackle and diving over the goal line for a game-winning score. And Jacksonville's first 4-1 start since 2007. I was but a wee 19-year-old lad, fresh out of high school, just freshly a year graduated, still bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and realizing that I was sold a big fucking lie. Moments earlier, Lawrence had held onto the ball too long, trying to play hero, and gave up a bad sack. Then he made a pair of clutch throws to Brian Thomas Jr. for 33 yards and Diami Brown for 13. Isn't Diami Brown like 4 foot nothing? That's pretty impressive. Then there was an incompletion on a dangerous pass and an inexplicable delay of game. Ultimately, Lawrence fell down and picked himself up and the team up with the score. Down 14-0 in the second quarter, the Jags rallied. Down 28-24 with 1:45 to play. Well, by golly, oh, hot damn diggity dog, lightning struck twice, and well, they did it again. Lawrence and Liam Cohen's offense looked discombobulated for much of the game, but they also looked impressive at other points. Lawrence ran for a team-high 54 yards and 2 tuggery-doos, while also throwing for one. Hopefully you had him in fantasy, because that's a lot of points. He also picked up the fumble at his 1-yard line. It was a topsy-turvy showing, but Jacksonville, playing in its only primetime game scheduled on the year, announced its legitimacy in chaotic fashion. Now, we could see the Jags I'm not, the way we're going at almost the third way mark of the season, does it not seem incomprehensible to think that Week 14, Week 15, whenever the Jags and the Colts square off in their second matchup of the year, big for all the AFC South, apples, and see them flexed out into primetime. And who would have ever thought that would even be a possibility? Well, the Jags are 4-1, and Indiana Daniel Jones is lighting it up in Indianapolis. It could be something we could see. Number 2, Mahomes can't captain a comeback. Since Patrick Mahomes became a starter in 2018, he's orchestrated 19 fourth-quarter comebacks, the most in the NFL. He and the Chefs came up short of number 20, looking very un-Chefs-like. Ahead of the Jaguars' game-winning drive, Harrison Butker booted the kickoff out of bounds, giving Jacksonville the ball at its 40. When Mahomes and co. took over with just 30 seconds to play, holding penalty on kick return set them up at their 17. 2 incompletions followed, including one to Marquise Brown that skimmed off the receiver's shoulder after he didn't get his head around. Then there was a delay of game, and a play later, it was over. Mahomes led with his arm and his legs through plenty of offensive peaks and valleys on Monday. In the end, though, the Chefs are 2-3 after Mahomes, and the Chefs had impressively taken a 14-0 lead after 3 drives. For multiple stretches on both sides of the ball, the Chefs looked good, perhaps just about as good as they have all year. But it was the upstart Jags who served a mercurial. I really don't know how to pronounce that word. What is mercurial? Is it supposed to be miracle? Do I not know how to read? I'm just going to chalk it up to I'm stupid. What is mercurial? Miracle? Mercurial? Served up a mercurial on Monday? I have no idea. I have a 6th grade reading education. Let's go public school system. Let's go. Jaguars showed some fight. Lloyd stays hot. By all statistical accounts, the Jaguars were front runners in their 3-1 start. In their first 4 games, they trailed for an NFL low 9 minutes and 10 seconds. In the Week 5 finale, however, Jacksonville was down 14-0 and its largest deficit by 10 points this year. It trailed for the first time at halftime, yet the Jags came roaring back, impressively forcing a 3-and-out on the Chefs' second half opening drive and then tying the game up on their ensuing offensive drive. With the Chefs aiming to fire right back, the Jags bent all the way to their 1-yard line before Devin Lloyd's 99-yard interception return for a score. Lloyd might be the hottest player in football right now. The reigning AFC Defensive Player of the Week and AFC Defensive Player of the Month jumped on Mahomes' pass over the middle, juked a Mahomes tackle attempt, broke a Kareem Hunt tackle, and held onto the ball for an all-out hustle strip attempt by Tyquan Thornton. It was the Jags' league-leading 14th takeaway of the season, but they're only one of the night. Jacksonville allowed 476 yards of offense. It's had better showings, but the fight was there for 4 quarters. And all them yards piled up still doesn't take the W off the column. Silver lining in KC's loss, Nick Bolton had what appeared to be the highlight of what would be a blowout when he punched the ball loose from Trevor Lawrence, who reached the pigskin over the goal line for a 4th-and-1 play in the second quarter. Bolton, who had 12 tackles, set up a massive sequence in which the Chefs took over, sprinting 97 yards in 5 plays and 2 minutes and 52 seconds for the 14-0 lead. The Chefs' defense allowed 319 yards and had a pair of takeaways whilst sacking Lawrence 3 times. The Chefs' running game showed life, with Kareem Hunt scoring a pair of TDs and turning in a 33-yard gain, the longest by KC running back this year. Kansas City's 158 rushing yards were a season high. This game is in which it seems the Chefs were poised to win until they didn't. Absolutely awesome. And finally, Hunter has the most enticing performance yet, getting the start on both sides of the ball. Rookie Travis Hunter turned in arguably his most promising outing yet. The biggest highlight was a 44-yard reception in the third quarter in which Colorado's product skied for an acrobatic grab that surpassed his previous game high by receiving yards by itself. This was 42 the previous week against the 49ers. In this one, Hunter had 3 receptions for 64 yards to go with 2 tackles and a pass breakup before recording 35 snaps on offense and 25 on defense. At corner, he was targeted thrice and allowed just 1 catch for 7 yards. Per Next Gen Stats, Hunter is coming along nicely. So good for the Jags, dude. We like to bask in the Bay of Schadenfreude and see the Chefs, the Kansas City Chefaroos fall. We like to see them go down. Oof, that's fair. That's fair, Trace. Trace says there's absolutely no reason. Oh, wait, hang on. My mom says Mercur. Oh, okay, so it's on fire. Okay, gotcha. Thanks. So mercurial is just another term for on fire. Am I even saying that right? Mercurial. Hook it on Pahonix. Work it for me. Let's go. How do you know you didn't wake up early to play video games? That's awesome, Beaver Nugs. Ooh, Trace and Mr. Trace City, you guys kind of going back and forth on the TA thing. I'm here for it. I love it. You guys, I love it. Let's take a look over at the power rankings. CBS Sports has NFL Week 6 power rankings. Now that Week 6 is upon us, the third of the way through the NFL season. Lions rise, Jets sink, and parity rules just how the NFL likes it. Let's going to take a look at our top 10. Now, look at our boy. Look at our NFL MVP, JG16. Unfortunately, I'm going to be honest, I don't think Jared Goff's going to win MVP simply because we have so many different ways we can beat you. When it really comes down to it, we have so many different weapons that, unfortunately, I don't think Jared Goff will end up winning the MVP unless he goes absolutely bananas with statistics. Like I said, 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards. We'll probably get him there, but I don't know if he's going to get there. So let's go ahead and take a look at the top 10, right? We know that Philly lost and the Bills lost. They were 1-2, 2-1, back and forth, undefeated teams. Well, no undefeated teams left. Who claims the number 1 spot? Who could it be? Who could it be now? Oh, let's get to it. Oh, it's like I'm slowly strip teasing for you guys. We're just gonna show a little ankle here. Look at bum. We are number 1 in the league. Suck my nuts, Philadelphia. I don't care. We're the best team in the NFC. Number 1, the Detroit Lions. The offense is cooking right now, kicking aside the notion that Ben Johnson would be missed. They face the Kansas City Chiefs this week. Number 2 is the Eagles. Number 3 is the Bills. Number 4, Tampa. Ooh, Ooh, Monday Night Football next week is shaping up to be ourselves a big, good, goddamn game. I'm absolutely here for that Week 7 Monday Night Football prime time. The fucking crazy hot Baker Mayfield led Tampa, Bay, Buccaneers, and the Detroit Lions in Monday Night Football. Now, Tampa has been kind of an upstart team, and obviously the Lions are a little bit more of a powerhouse than we have been in years past, and that's not taking away from Tampa being a perennial playoff team the last couple of years, especially with Baker Mayfield running the show. They are currently at the number 4 power rankings, according to CBS, which is shaping up for Monday Night Football to be an absolutely slugfest next week with the Lions and Bucs. Make sure to tune in. We'll have a pregame show Monday night because yeah, boy took next Monday or the Tampa game that Monday off. I took that Monday off. We're gonna get paid for it too, baby. And I take a lot of time, Mad Hatter Nation, because I get a lot of time. Number 5, the Pittsburgh Steelers quietly with Aaron Diddly-Do Rodgers quietly climbing up the power ranks. Number 6, the Indianapolis Colts. Number 7, the Green Bay Packers, and that's gross. Number 8, the Jags. 9, the Niners, and rounding out the top 10 would be your Denver Broncos, the guys who knocked off the Philadelphia Eagles. So that's the top 10 that we got. The Lions sit atop the throne. The King of the North, the King of the 7 Kingdoms, Defender of the Realm, the Detroit Lions, guys, and I'm absolutely here for it. Ben P.P. Johnson is sitting in his closet with silent tears. Small P.P. Benedict Arnold Osama Ben Johnson is sitting in the closet with Giggle Williams doing things that we can't talk about on YouTube. But I think you guys know what I mean. Let's talk a little Lions ball, guys. Let's talk a little Lions ball. It's been the topic down on the poll, and it's been the topic in the chat. Well, okay, wow, we are really tightening up on the poll. So, Terrion Arnold injury update. Lions cornerback will be out for a, quote, long time. Now, the poll that we have is TA on Bust Highway. TA obviously being Terrion Arnold. TA, is he on Bust Highway? We're getting a pretty tight grouping here of votes. Yes, basically. He's, goddamn, ice pack sliding around. He's Jeff Okudah all over again with 33% of the vote. Not yet, but he's gassing up. There's 20% of the vote. And no, he needs more time with 50% of the vote. There we go. Someone flipping back and forth between not yet and no, he needs more time. That's fair. I think you guys are actually very... How's this? The way that poll breaks down, I think is exactly how I allocate where he is internally. Like for me, that is about where I'm at. I'm about 50% saying no, he needs more time, but I'm starting to lean into the Jeff Okudah narrative. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm starting to lean into it a little bit with a little bit of just going, temper your reality here. Realize that he needs, just give him a little bit more time. But I don't want to give him more time. I want to win now. I want to win now. You know what I'm saying, guys? He played almost his entire rookie year with no pass rush last year. Does that factor with any of these supposed ball knowers? Oh, good point, Art. Nice, dude. Okay, I see where you're at, dude. Okay, that's fair. That's a fair point, dude. The Detroit Lions are suddenly short-handed at corner after Terrion Arnold suffered an injury that will keep him sidelined long term. Unfortunately, it looks like the Detroit Lions injuries are starting to pile up again. Just about a week after the Lions play starting cornerback DJ Reed on IR with a hamstring, it appears they will now be without their other starting corner. Lions coach Dan Campbell announced Monday that TA suffered a long-term shoulder injury on Sunday against the Cincinnati Bumbles. He's going to be out for a while. He's going to be out for a long time, Campbell said. When asked if the season-ending injury, Campbell said he didn't know quite yet, but repeated it would be, quote, a while. It's a tough break for Arnold, who's had a bumpy start to his career. After a flag-happy rookie season. Now, I will say a flag-happy first half of his rookie season. He did clean it up the back end. After the bye week, TA wasn't as much of a liability for the PIs. He came into 2025 with a lot of hype coming out of training camp. He struggled in his first few games, but Campbell was impressed with how he played on Sunday against the Bumbles. He was very competitive. I thought he was calm. I thought he was cool, and I thought it was one of his better games he's played in a while. I thought he was really good, Campbell said. It's been a rough year for the Lions cornerbacks before season even began. The Lions' 2024 second-round pick, Enos the Penis Rakestraw, suffered a season-ending injury. Now Reed is out for at least 3 more games. Reserve cornerback Khalil Dorsey is out for, quote, a while with a new wrist injury. Great. And TA appears to be headed to IR. That leaves the Lions extremely short-handed at cornerback. Although the Lions did sign Trey Flowers and Nick Whiteside to their practice squad last week, other healthy options include Amik the Freak Robertson, Rock Ya-Sin, and Avante Maddox. That is leaving you pretty short-handed down at the cornerback room. So what can we do? What can we do? Who can we start? What are some names? How are you guys feeling, chat? What do we do? What do you do? What are we going to do? You didn't upset me. Okay, that's not me. Oh, well, still wish you the best and pray for the goal lines. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. See, even though you guys disagree, you end up coming to terms and being polite and courteous with one another. I love Mad Hatter Nation, you guys. Bunch of patriotic Americans doing American things, disagreeing with one another, but still being able to maintain civility. Look at us go. So, guys, what can we do? What are we going to do? It is a scary time to be a secondary player for the Lions defense. We are very short-handed, and things are starting to repeat themselves from last year. Injuries. Hopefully Hutch's bionic leg doesn't have a bad situation again. Over here at Lions on SI, they have a list, compiled a nice little list of guys for us to take a little looky-loo at. Right? External cornerback options Lions could consider to replace Terrion Arnold. Will the Lions add a new cornerback soon? Now, obviously, you guys see the face on the article here. CJ Gardner-Johnson. That's going to be a no for me, dog. I'm going to go ahead and pass. Now, I understand where you guys are at on the notion of CJ. He is a athletic freak. But I don't think we are at the situation where we need to bring in that cancer to the locker room. Now, 3 weeks from now, everybody's banged up, and for whatever reason, we are the walking wounded again. Third verse, same as the first. Then, yeah, you're going to have to, in case of fire, break all of the glass. I don't think we are at the point where we need to bring back CJ, who, by all accounts, was just cut from Houston for being a piece of shit, right? So who do we got here? This isn't a bad dream, and it's not 2025. Campbell spoke to the media on Monday. The main news involved TA and Khalil Dorsey missing significant time. We know TA joins everybody else. So who? Just get to the list. Trim the fat, hat. All right, fine. I will. DiCaprio Boodle. He's a free agent. With the Kansas City Chefs up next week, the natural fit becomes the former chef who spent the summer with the Detroit Lions. Boodle started his career with KC, signing with them following the 21 NFL draft and spending 2 seasons with them, appearing in 7 games. Boodle was a player that was signed by Motown right before training camp and played nearly 60 snaps with the Lions between 2 preseason games. However, and I do mean how and ever, Boodle suffered an injury and was placed on season-ending IR around the joint practices with the Miami Dolphins in August. He was waived with a settlement on August 24th. The typical waiting period on a settlement is 6 weeks, and this week marks 7 since his release. However, it is unknown how much time his lower leg could force him to miss. So if he's still hurt, that is a big waste of time. Cameron Dantzler. Dantzler is a proven veteran who appeared in 37 games since being drafted in the 3rd round by Minnesota. The Mississippi State product spent 3 seasons with the Vikings, who square off with Detroit within the month. Additionally, Dantzler's tantalizing size, 6'2", and production, 3 career interceptions, PFW All-Rookie team in 2020, makes him more proven than other options. That said, Dantzler did not see the field for a regular season game since 2023 and has had a front office red flag, at least for a backup signing, taking to Twitter over lack of playing time in 2021. So a little immature there. Melvin Smith Jr., also on the practice squad of the Chefs. Smith is an undrafted rookie from the spring's NFL draft and landed with the Chefs shortly after its conclusion. The Chefs' next team the Lions face, and any prior knowledge about the Chefs' playbook could come with a premium for Detroit and their backup turned starting corners. Smith may be the best option for that. The Southern Arkansas product played 36 snaps for the Chefs this preseason and allowed one catch the only time he was targeted. However, he took nearly all his reps at the outside corner spot. With Detroit down to outside corners, outside experience comes at a premium. Fabian Moreau. Here's a guy I'm not necessarily completely against. Moreau is a former third-round pick from 2017 and is a well-traveled among the league. This is currently the UCLA product's second stint with the Vikings and has been with 6 other teams besides Minneapolis. Moreau has battled in practice with Justin Jefferson since August 17th and also spent the entire 24 season with the Vikings. The defensive back knows the league, has produced before, and has prior knowledge of an upcoming opponent. He was promoted to the Vikings for a game day elevation last week, too. Moreau is still being relied upon. CJGJ. Gross. While this would make headlines, Gardner Johnson was recently released by the Houston Texans, and it's clear his release was not on amicable terms. While the Florida product burned bridges on his way out the door with Detroit, he is an admittedly productive player with experience in the Lions system. With the lack of healthy bodies, his name could be one floated. While it is unlikely, the thinking could be to add another player who could play on the back end. If the team decided to allow Brian Branch to play more at cornerback in the coming weeks, something we know Brian Branch can play very, very well at is that nickel slot corner spot. Very effective at it. Maybe even more effective at the nickel spot than he is playing safety. But obviously, safety is going to have him on the field more, so your odds of a big play goes up. Here's a familiar name. Here you go, guys. Jerry Jacobs. There you go. Blast from the past. Third verse, same as the first. Jacobs is another veteran with experience in Detroit, playing during the first 3 years of the Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell era. He started 12 games for the Lions during their NFC Championship appearance year in 23, picking off 3 passes. However, that year, Jacobs has not appeared in a regular season game since. He spent all of 2024 outside of football, too. However, he has stayed in shape for football, as the Cowboys and Colts each have worked him out since June. And the last name on the list, saving the best for last, Trey Hawkins. Hawkins is a former New York Giants 6th-round draft pick and played 2 seasons in Rutherford, appearing in 20 games. He was waived by the Giants with an injury settlement in August, but now he's healthy. He has an array of suitors, per Aaron Wilson. Wilson listed the Lions, 49ers, Ravens, Dolphins, and Colts among those that have expressed interest in the Old Dominion product. Hawkins has prototypical size for an NFL corner, standing at 6'3", and recorded tackles and an interception in his recorded 45 tackles and an interception in his young career. So there's that guy right there, that Trey Hawkins. Ooh, young, explosive. I think he runs like a sub 4.40. 6'3", okay, very enticing little prospect there. Let's take a little bit closer look, huh? Detroit Lions reportedly interested in young, athletic cornerback with starting experience. The Detroit Lions have interest in young, athletic cornerback amidst all of their injuries. This will be our final article of the day, guys. If you haven't already, would you kindly subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell if you're new, or subscribe to the channel if you're new here, ring that notification bell so you never miss out on any content. Like the video and share this around with everyone you know. Share it with your friends, share it with your kids, share it with your grandma. I'm a big fan of grandmas around here, especially if your grandma looks like our girl Mary Berry. Oof, she looks like Mary Berry from the Great British Bake Off, or British Baking Championship, or whatever the hell it's called. You send that silver fox my way. Even before the news about Terrion Arnold's long-term injury went public, the Lions had reportedly shown interest in free agent cornerbacks that could help fill out a suddenly thinned-out room. Per NFL insider Aaron Wilson, Lions are one of 5 teams that have showed interest in cornerback Trey Hawkins, joining the Niners, Ravens, Dolphins, and Colts. I would imagine that these 2 teams are going to be at the bottom of his list, because the Colts, Lions, and Niners are all at, right now, Super Bowl contenders. Hawkins is currently progressing from a hamstring injury suffered in New York Giants training camp this year. It's unclear where he's at in his recovery, but he was waived from from the Giants injured reserve list on September 9 this year. So what kind of production level does this mildly injured player have? I like to shy away from injured players, typically. Okay. That's why I am completely off Asante Samuel Jr. If Asante Samuel Jr. hadn't had neck fucking fusion surgery in his vertebrae, he'd be the top dog on our list. I'm sure he'd already be in the Honolulu blue and silver. You know what I'm saying? Prior to his injury, Hawkins was the Giants' 6th-round pick in 23. He appeared in all 17 games his rookie season, starting 3 for New York over that span and playing snaps in 10 total games. He finished the Sorry, I thought I heard someone driving up my driveway. He finished the year with 35 tackles, 1 pass breakup, and a 52.6 overall grade. However, he did log a 74.5 grade in run defense, something the Lions value with their cornerbacks. That's the one thing I cannot say Terrion Arnold is bad at. He's a good run defender. He's a very good tackler. However, he did log a 74.5 grade run in defense, something I already read that. Last year, Hawkins was only active for 3 games, but did log his first interception in Week 14 against the Saints. Unfortunately for Hawkins, he suffered a lumbar spine injury in the game and was lost for the rest of the season. Oof. Okay, that's ouch. At 6'3" and with a 4.394, I told you it was sub 440. 4.3940. Hawkins has a tempting combination of youth at 25 years old, size, athleticism, and a willingness to get dirty in the run game. It's just a matter of when he'll be healthy enough to play. Lions already find themselves in some trouble at the cornerback position due to injuries. They lost second-round pick Rakestraw to season-ending injury. Last week they put DJ Reed on IR, and it appears Arnold and Khalil Dorsey are expected to land there this week. That currently leaves the Lions with a huge gaping hole. Amik Robertson, Rocky Sin, Avonte Maddox. Oh, yes, I forgot about old Eric Hallett. Detroit does have Eric Hallett, Trey Flowers, and Nick Whiteside on their practice squad as well. All right, I forgot about Eric Hallett. I was actually high on Eric Hallett. I kind of thought Eric Hallett could make a bid for the 53-man roster. Played a lot of valuable good snaps for the Detroit Lions in preseason. And not only did he just play at safety, he played at corner as well. He's, again, one of those Avonte Maddox tweener-type dudes, right? So in a pinch, obviously move Maddox or Branch down to your slot corner spot. Hallett can come in as a rotationary player, right? So you got 3 guys, you got 2 starting spots that you need to plug, right? So you're gonna move Brian Branch over to your nickel spot, right? That's gonna take away Brian Branch, okay? Then you're gonna go ahead and elevate Avonte Maddox to your starting safety spot, right? Then you're gonna need to have a rotationary player come in. So why not Eric Hallett, who can play both spots, familiarity with the system, and knows what's going on. I am also a big fan of Trey Flowers. It was good to see him out there. Now, I said this early on in the chat this morning with Detroit Sports Talk. All right, so shout out Detroit Sports Talk because I completely agree with the move here. I am not a CJ guy. This is the move that the Lions need to make. You need to sign Stephon Gilmore right now. Right now. Right now, Stephon Gilmore needs to be packing his shit and heading to Allen Park because he's going to be on the active roster from now until the end of the season as long as he's healthy. So you have to sign Stephon Gilmore right out the rip, plug and play. You also then sign Trey Hawkins. If he's hurt for a week or two, still needs a couple weeks of rehab, that's fine. Get him acclimated to the system and then promote him to the active roster. By bringing in those 2 guys, you have both a proven historically good asset in Stephon Gilmore that you don't need him for the duration of the season to be that guy, but I do need him to plug and play to be a bridge player for a little bit. We're trying to triage this gaping, bloody, hemorrhaging artery that is our secondary, okay? So you bring in Stephon Gilmore. That's going to triage the situation for a little bit. Trey Hawkins comes in, gets healthy, gets polished up, ready to go. Week or 2 into the bye, comes out of the bye week, absolutely rock solid, and then becomes the cornerback of the future for the Detroit Lions, further cementing the Brad Holmes, the story, the grittiness, the redemption arc, all of that shit plays right into the narrative that we like to accomplish here in the Motor City. Talk me off the ledge, chat. Gilmore would help for sure, Brent DeWitt says. 100% truth, dude. Just got to work, signing off. Have a good one. You have a good one, Derek Harp, dude. Don't work too hard. Remember, they pay you to be there, not for what you do. You know what I'm saying? So have a good morning, brother. Go crush it at work. Get that money, sir. If Gilmore hasn't been on his couch all summer, I'd entertain it. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know Stephon Gilmore's physical, like where he's at. You know what I'm saying? But if he's at all, if he is 80% good to go, you sign him, you active roster him, and then you ease him into it because he's a proven body that even if he's got to play 6 snaps fresh off the street, Stephon Gilmore, I'll trust him to make plays or break up passes 4 of those 6 snaps. Does that make sense? I take a 4 of 6 snap victory than some douche nozzle out there who's going to get all grabby, who can't make an INT, who can't read a defense, who's going to get cooked. You know what I'm saying? There you go, Art. There you go, dude. Have Gilmore go one-on-one with Amon-Ra. If he gets torched in practice, you call him an Uber. Fucking perfect, dude. There you go. There you goddamn go. He doesn't have to shut Amon-Ra down, but he can't get cooked. He cannot get cooked. You know what I'm saying? I love where that's at. Absolutely. Yeah, I'll take Gilmore today. Hell yeah, Mr. Detroit City. Yeah, dude. So Stephon Gilmore needs to be getting a phone call from the 313. All right, boys and girls. Let's finish today off on a little bit of funny haha. Tuesdays are for Tom Grassi, everybody. So here we got Tom Grassi's every NFL fan's reaction to Week 5. We're going to go ahead and let this video run start to finish, and then we'll chat it up with you guys for a couple minutes, and then we'll head on out of here and get rolling with our Tuesday. Sound good? Sounds great.
What a comeback, and the Panthers win again. And Rico Dowdle, who saw that coming? I mean, hell, I didn't even see us winning 2 games, so I'm just surprised. Pain is all I know. The darkness creeps forward every single Sunday that I have to watch the Dolphins play, and I don't know if I'm gonna... Oh wait, the Bills lost. Who would have thought that 3 turnovers and nearly a dozen penalties would have cost us the game? Or at least that fan got a Josh Allen football, so that's something. It's gonna, it's gonna be May. I love you, Drake May. The Broncos beat the undefeated Eagles. Never had a doubt, except for the first 3 quarters. Are you feeling it? Are you beginning to believe? I believe that our offensive coordinator is dog Oh, look, another good Thursday night football game. Oh, how the tables have turned. After 5 weeks, we are tied for first place in the entire NFC. Imagine if we actually had a healthy team. Stop having our kicks blocked. Spencer Rattler with the first win of the season. Thank God. I haven't had something to be happy about in a while. Oh look, we went from beating the Chargers to losing to the Saints. That happiness didn't last long. Well, not only did we lose, but Omarion Hampton is now hurt, so... But charging is never early or late. It arrives precisely when it means to. And just like that, Jaden Daniels is back, the Commanders are back, and so is my buzz. Well, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be, which honestly is an improvement. Well, we won, and David Montgomery threw a touchdown, so that's good, but we didn't score as many points as I wanted to. And we also let them score in the 4th quarter. Well, the good news is that...
He fucking nailed it. I want to watch that part again. That was... Dude, he nailed it.
Well, we won, and David Montgomery threw a touchdown, so that's good.
Look at his
But we
face.
didn't score as many points as I wanted to. And we also let them score in the fourth quarter. Well, the good news is that Dylan Gabriel looked pretty solid. And
We didn't score as many points as I wanted to, and we let him score in the fourth quarter. If that ain't exactly how I felt yesterday, where I was like, yeah, we won, but god damn it was sloppy. I'm not happy about the win. Could have been better. Should have been better.
And Judkins is looking real good. The bad news, the entirety of the fourth quarter and the fact that we lost to Carson Wentz. Whew, okay.
Hey, you have a good day, Tracy, all
That
right?
was a little bit of a
You go
close
crush
game,
it. Have a
but
good day, all right?
Jordan Addison with
Birthday
the game
shopping
winner.
now.
Almost was
What's
like
up,
the
Rick
Pats.
C? Welcome to the chat, dude. Welcome to. Sorry, I got to let it buffer out a little bit. It's lagging. What's up, Rick C? Welcome to the chat, dude. Hopefully you like what you see, dude. We can earn your support here, dude.
I was a little bored because we had a bye week this week and we weren't able to laugh at the Packers. But then I remembered that the Vikings beat the Browns and the Packers didn't, so I'm back. How is it our bye week and we're still getting made fun of? We go on a bye and every team in the division wins. Worst bye week ever. We went on a bye week and every team in the division lost. Best bye week ever. I remember when we had a good defense. I also remember when I wasn't so sad. Those times are far away now. Somehow, the Strouds have returned. We won! We won our first game of the season! We're not going 0-17! That's my team that's ass! But they're a little less ass today.
That's my team.
This doesn't
ass.
protect you, Callahan. You're still getting fired.
Truth.
Can someone tell me what the just happened?
Hell yeah, Rick. I appreciate it, dude. If you like what you see, man, hopefully you tune back, brother. I appreciate you checking it out, dude. That's pretty cool of you, man.
Yeah, we're back. Black hole sun, won't you come and intercept Gino? Flag, 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 flag! Flag! And the Bucks win again! I love this team! Though I do not love what it does for my heart. Man, do I love when our offense shows up and our defense doesn't. It just makes me so happy. Never a doubt, except the times where I had doubt, but Trevor Lawrence with the drive of his life, Duval! How the hell did we lose that game? How did nobody tackle Trevor Lawrence on that last drive? And why are there so many penalties on special teams? Best weekend ever. Black hole sun, won't you come?
Hell, Rick, yeah, dude.
Won't you-
When this is done, I'll
Chiefs
comment on that.
lost? The Chiefs losing almost makes up for Sunday night. Almost. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little relieved because it would totally be in the Cowboys' nature to tie the Packers and then lose to the Jets, so I'm just happy. Well, it was a pretty bad week. Not only did the Jets lose, but now they're the only winless team in the NFL. But you know who had a worse weekend? Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, he did. Yo, legit, I gotta give you a shout out, Rick C. I'm pretty sure Grossi has a secret twin. He does it, dude. I have no idea how he gets this shit turned out so fast. Like, it would be one thing if the quality was dog water, but the quality is good, and it's I don't know how. It can't be a one-man operation because he just cranks out content. And I mean, good content too. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite creators. Did you guys see Chris Jones not even try on that Trevor Lawrence game-winning touchdown? Well, that's kind of what seems to be the vibes, to quote Gen Z, the vibes of Kansas City. I think they're starting to realize that Super Bowl window was slammed in their face last year when they were trying to, made what, their third straight run to the Super Bowl. I think that the players are starting to realize that they're tired. They don't have it, and other teams have caught on to how they play ball and pass them. So Chris Jones especially seems to be a little bit more diva-y than other defensive players, especially defensive line players. So I guess I got to say I'm not all surprised that he just gave up. It just kind of seems to be the way of the chefs this year. Didn't notice that? I said that in the comments before. Tom gave it heart. Maybe it was Tim. Oh, okay. I see where. Yeah, all right. For sure. Fuck yeah. I didn't get a chance to read that, Art. I'm sorry, brother. Chiefs are going to be fired up. They might be, dude. Chiefs are going to be angry at Arrowhead. Yeah, okay. Yep, I see what you're talking. Going to be a tough game. It will be a tough game because they should be a little pissed off. It's going to be prime time, and there is that Patrick Mahomes X factor. I heard all the same shit 2 years ago, week 1. I heard all the same shit. And what did we do? Rolled out and punched him right in the fucking mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not willing to undersell what the Detroit Lions do week in and week out simply because of, Patrick Mahomes. Oh, fuck, it's on Sunday night. Oh, my God, I got to listen to Chris Collinsworth just glaze Patrick Mahomes all Sunday night long and listen to Mike George Costanza Tirico just blabber on. Oh, fuck, man. Golly. Lions should be able to wear them down, Brent, and I think that's what's going to happen. I think you're going to see very similar to what we did with the Ravens, very similar to what you've seen against the Browns, and that is midway through the third quarter, our team is just going to have worn down the opponent, that we're going to break the will. They're going to break their will to not only win, but their will to even play the game. And then it's just body blows the rest of the night until we walk out of there with a double-digit victory. I'm talking like, hanging 40 on the Chiefs. I think it's easy to hang 40 on the Chiefs. Hell, we might even hang 50 on the Chiefs. All I'm saying is that we can easily hang 40 on the Chiefs. We might be able to hang 50 on the Chiefs. But for that to happen, for us to do what we need to do to take care of business the way that we take care of business traditionally, I'm going to need Jameson Williams to fucking show up. Has anybody seen JMO? APB, all cars, be on the lookout for a one JMO Waymo Williams. Where has he been? Is he waiting for a big primetime game against the Chefs to go and do JMO's 3 catches, 150 yards for 2 touchdowns thing? Is that what's going to happen? Pass rush has to be dominant, and our linebackers have to frustrate Travis Swift. I love it. When Swifty gets frustrated, the whole team gets frustrated. You are 100% correct, Rick. 100% correct. Travis Swift is a perfect barometer for the emotional status of the Chiefs during the game. Whatever Travis Swift is doing is exactly how he's the emotional leader of the team. And if we can get him frustrated. Now, we did watch a video last week about how Jack Campbell is ascending to being one of the elite linebackers in the game. Alex Anelzone continues to be a good pass cover linebacker, and Derek Barnes does Derek Barnes things, right? I think we have the Jimmies and the Joes to match up on X's and O's against the Chefs. I think we have more Jimmies and Joes to beat down on their X's and O's. But as long as we execute properly, come into a game plan, and Kelvin Shepard seems to be a really goddamn good defensive coordinator, all things aside, playing with all of these bodies. How will the secondary hold up? That will have yet to be proven, but you're right on the head of the nail when you said pass rush has to be dominant. Aiden Hutchinson has to eat Juwan Taylor's lunch, okay, as well as Al-Qadim Muhammad. I need to see Tyler Lacey start having some flashes. If this is the game we see Aleem come back, it's time for Aleem to show up and do Aleem things. If not, I'd love to see Tyleek do more than just swat the ball down. That's not taken away from what Tyleek Williams has done. I think he has outperformed his draft position for the Detroit Lions and the expectations that the national media put on Tyleek Williams. I think he's ascended and playing better than, especially because he's a cerebral player. He can diagnose plays, and he's really good at batting balls down. I absolutely love what we have with Tyleek Williams, but I need to see a little bit more of a push, a little bit more. I know I hate having to come back to the defensive line like fucking Oliver Twist. Excuse me, sir, I want some more. But I need more. I need more. More! I'm like fucking Kylo Ren. More! I need more! You know what I'm saying, dude? I need Hutch on national media or on the national spotlight in primetime on Sunday Night Football. I need him to dominate the game. I need him to make Patrick Mahomes not want to come back on the field. I need Aiden Hutchinson to be Mr. Michigan Mayhem. dominate the game, take over, throw in a Kirby Joseph interception. Let's goddamn go. I am so high on the Lions, beating the fucking brakes off the Chefs, you guys. I am ready to goddamn go. Yeah, 1K subs, here we come. I hope so, Mr. Detroit City. I appreciate the support, brother. It's a slog, dude. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't picked up 1 sub in 2 weeks yet. We've been in a little bit of a room here. I mean, it's fine. You guys all turn up. I love hanging out with you guys. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to hit that 1K sub mark, but honestly, just kicking it with you guys every morning, it's a lot of fun, dude. I genuinely look forward to doing this every single day. You know what I'm saying? It's part of my routine. It's part of my things, hanging out with you guys, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of fun for me. But yeah, the 1K sub mark would be pretty cool, man. It'd be pretty cool. I want to see TW get his first sack. Why open the floodgates? Yeah, dude. I want to see Tyleek grab a sack, dude. Rick, I'm really high on Tyleek Williams, and I was when we drafted him. He just hits that Brad Holmes mold. Yeah, he ain't real flashy. He ain't got a lot of wazz and pizzazz, and people were kind of left scratching their heads going, why did we take a defensive tackle in the first round? Why did we take Tyleek Williams? And all of those same questions were the same questions that surrounded Jahmyr Gibbs when we drafted him. Why would you do that? Why would you? Because Brad Holmes knows things. Because Brad Holmes, until proven otherwise, is the smartest man in football. Yeah, he can't draft corners to save his ass, but he can draft every other position really fucking well. You know what I'm saying? Gibbs going to cook. Monty going to cook. Big run game coming. Branch going to get a huge pick. Dude, what if Brian Branch does the same thing he did in the opening game a couple of years back where he gets another pick 6 on Mahomes? What if Brian Branch makes Arrowhead his version of Kirby Joseph's Lambeau Field? You know what I'm saying? What if Brian Branch just owns Arrowhead Stadium? Like that becomes his fucking battleground, his arena. When the Lions travel to Arrowhead, it's Brian Branch's house, bitch. Let's fucking go. Let's go, guys. I am so high. I am so high on the Lions right now. He's also had 3 batted passes. Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying about Tyleek Williams. That's what I'm saying, Brent. The kid knows when to get his hands up. He can diagnose things, and his timing, his instincts are just so good. He's very underrated. I think he's outperforming his draft position, and where most analysts and scouts thought that he would be this early on in his career. I think he's greatly outperformed, and it should only uptick with the return of Tyleek Williams, or with the return of Aleem McNeil, because it gives you more rotationary pieces and allows you to have more flexibility and fresh legs longer throughout the game. I think Tyleek Williams is playing absolutely great. I think the future of the Detroit Lions, at least along 3 of the front 4 spots, are young, dominant, and have a bright future. If we could get a complementary edge to go along with Hutch, a nice young piece, which I think could be Tyler Lacey. I'm telling you, he's a nice little piece that's coming along nicely. Yeah, he's not as flashy as Hutch, but he plays that heavy end spot that we like Aiden Hutchinson to be able to collapse the pocket into. I think Tyler Lacey has a lot of bright spots and a relatively higher ceiling with Detroit than he did with Jacksonville. You know what I'm saying? Shep is such an upgrade over AG. Mr. Detroit City, I personally really like Aaron Glenn. I think he seems like a stand-up guy. But what you just said there is 110% the truth. Shep is a massive upgrade over Aaron Glenn. I'm going to be honest, guys. If Calvin Shepard keeps coordinating the defense the way he's been coordinating the defense this year, he's one and done in Detroit. He will get a head coaching job, and it'll be an opportunity that he cannot pass up. He is too good of a defensive coordinator, and he's too good of a natural leader of men. You've seen it through his progression of the coaching ranks in Detroit, the way the team loves him, the players love him, the way he speaks, conducts himself in front of the media. He's already natural in front of the mic. He's a natural-born leader. I think Calvin Shepard, if he continues coordinating the way he's coordinating, we will be incredibly lucky if he returns to Detroit next year to be our coordinator. Shep over AG, 100%. Yeah, dude. Not only that, guys, but like, I think Calvin, like, and this isn't taken away from Aaron Glenn, okay? He's a bit of an old head. I think Calvin Shepard would be like, I think it'd be fun to hang out with, man. I bet he is a lot of fun just to shoot the shit with, just to chew the fat with. I bet he's just a really cool guy. He's very thankful and thoughtful. I don't see him leaving first call. That's a good point, Mr. Detroit City. They talked about that on Hard Knocks, how everybody wanted Shep to cut his hair, and Dan Campbell's like, no, man, that's what makes you you, man. I'm not going to ask you to cut your hair, man. You keep that shit. And he did. You know what I'm saying? You could be onto something right there, brother, that he's a very thankful and a very loyal individual. Ooh, excuse me. Thankfully, the Packers aren't probably going to fire LaFleur. Kevin O'Connell's probably not going anywhere. And small PP Benedict Arnold Osama Bend over Ben Johnson, the trader in the Windy City, yeah, he's not going to be a one-and-done coach with the Chicago Bears unless there's a catastrophic implosion and they don't win another game. So at least we don't have to worry about Shep going in the immediate future to a divisional opponent like small PP Benedict Arnold Osama Ben Johnson, the trader in the Windy City, did. You know what I'm saying? But I do think you have a good point there. Maybe just his loyalty and his commitment to what Dan Campbell means to him as far as his coaching career is considered. Maybe he will feel like he owes him more than just a one and done. You could be very much onto something. Personally, I'm also a big advocate for you don't just hire a coordinator to be the head coach of your team after one good year. I need to see a repeated history of productivity and ascension in the defensive ranks. Your defense has to be getting better and better and better, which is where Aaron Glenn fell short. His defense never really got better and better and better. He was just the defensive coordinator of a really good team. We've got Shep for 2 years. He'll help groom his eventual replacement before he leaves. I hope you're right, Rick. I hope you're right, dude. I hope you're right, and I think that Shep is that type of guy. You know what I'm saying? He seems like that type of guy. Our line's looking at Reek Woolen. I'm late. Don't know if you discussed it yet. So, what's up, Sam? How you doing, brother? How you doing? We did briefly talk about Tyreek Woolen. Let's take a look. How do you spell his name? Oh, yeah, that's right. He goes by Reek now, right? Yeah. Seahawks learned the sad and brutal truth about Reek Woolen in Week 5. Ruled out Sunday. Seahawks injury update. Matt McDonald, Derek Hall. All right, this is 16 hours ago. Also missing veteran DeMarcus Lawrence. Nick Worry and Nehemiah Pritchett are okay. McDonald had no update on Reek Woolen's concussion. Okay, so he's in concussion protocol. No update on his concussion. So he is injured. I'm trying to see. That is not much news. Not much news. But Sam, shout out Sam. We did talk about Reek, and I feel like our consensus is if the move is there, you go after Tyreek Woolen. You got to go get Reek Woolen. That's the guy. If there is a trade that is palatable by Brad Holmes, and Brad Holmes loves to deal them third-round picks away, if there's a trade that's palatable for Brad Holmes for Reek Woolen, you pull that fucking trigger. You pull that trigger until it goes click. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what you do. Reason Woolen might be available is that Sea Chickens gave Witherspoon $31 million guaranteed, and Woolen is on. Oh, okay, Brent. Gotcha. That's what I was thinking. I knew they had. I couldn't think of their other corner, Devin Witherspoon, right? That's who I'm thinking of, Witherspoon, who some people mocked Detroit taking him in the first round a couple years back. That makes sense, dude. So if we could get a trade, like a 1-year rental player, and then maybe if we have the capital, we re-sign him, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But a one-year rental, I'm not necessarily mad about that. I'd call Gilmore before I attempt any trades, save the trades for the deadline. Okay, Rick, yeah, okay. I guess... Okay, so let's just go ahead and we'll kind of table this discussion for tomorrow in case any news breaks. But what I will say is my moves right now are, yes, I like the idea of holding on to trade capital until the deadline. I'm on board with that. I also don't like just wheeling and dealing away draft capital. Okay, I am much more of a draft your position guys than sign player guys. I like building through the draft. But that's because I played Madden far too much in my life. Don't go after Reek Woolen right away unless you absolutely have to, okay? First move you make, I'm torn between whether you're calling Steph Gilmore or calling Trey Hawkins first. Either way, I need both of those bodies in Honolulu Blue by kickoff week 6. Mr. Detroit City says me and Madden. So here's the thing, dude. I didn't buy last year's because I don't have a next gen system, but I'm probably getting one here in the next little bit. I have played every iteration of Madden since Madden 99, and I'm talking thousands of hours on each one, dude. I play a lot of Madden, bro. I don't play against other people. I just play franchises like a motherfucker, dude. Which is kind of what I was thinking about memberships. If I opened up memberships, during the winter when it's cold and I don't necessarily want to go out shooting, maybe we could do like a franchise type deal, like a members only stream or something like that. But yeah, dude, I play an obnoxious amount of Madden. But yeah, so I guess I'm torn between what my first choices would be. I'd like to set Tyreek Woolen, that possibility, over here on the back burner, because that's going to require more investment. You know what I'm saying? But I do like the idea of calling Steph Gilmore or Trey Hawkins. They're both on opposite ends of the what do you want to do? Do you want the young athletic guy who's coming back from a little bit of an injury but has huge upside, or do you want the proven asset of what you got in the veteran of Steph Gilmore? Either way, I want both guys in the Motor City. Gun to my head, though, I'm calling Steph Gilmore first. Gun to my head, I'm calling Steph Gilmore before anybody else. I'm calling Steph Gilmore. I'm calling former Defensive Player of the Year, perennial All-Pro. He's got the pedigree. I'm calling Steph Gilmore. That's who I'm calling first, for sure. But I do like the idea of bringing in Tyreek Woolen. I do kind of like that idea a lot, especially if it's not going to cost too damn much. So, boys, that's going to be it for today. Today we covered the Jags-Chiefs Monday night wild turnaround where the Jags ended up beating the Chefs. And in a exciting fashion, we looked at the CBS Power Rankings poll where the Lions rise and the Jets stink. But Detroit now sits atop number 1, according to CBS, and that feels pretty damn good. It feels good to be the king. We then talked about TA, and he will be out for, quote, a long time, probably headed to IR, right? So that's not a good thing. Both of our starting corners, outside corners, are both injured and on IR, unavailable. So what do? Well, we looked at some names that could pop for you. Obviously, CJ is on some people's tongues, but not mine around here. We looked at some other guys, namely Trey Hawkins. And Lions are reportedly interested in Trey Hawkins as well. So if they're interested, and I'm interested, hopefully things work out. But as we just stated, I am 150% calling Steph Gilmore right now. Right. You call it. Steph Gilmore needs to wake up from voicemails and text messages from Brad Holmes. That's what needs to happen, guys. That's what needs to happen right out the rip. So, no CD douche. Rick, we actually last week splashed around in the pond of Schadenfreude while we basked in the glory of CJ getting cut from the Houston Texans, because I can't stand the fucking guy. I think he's a douchebag, just a big old, piece of shit. I don't like the guy, man. I don't like the guys. Oh, Sam, you're in Central Time Zone. No shit. That's wild, dude. Man, we got people all over the country tuning into the Hat and Beard Show. That's fucking wild, dude. That's wild. Yeah, no ski masks. Exactly, Brent. Exactly, guys. And then, of course, we watched Tom Grassi, because Tuesdays are for Tom. Let's get into it, boys and girls. I want to say thank you very much for each and every one of you tuning in. Thanks for all of you that took part in the poll. Looks like 48% of you say that TA still needs time before he gets on the bust highway. But 29% of you say he's Jeff Okuda all over again. 24% of you say no, not yet, but he's gassing it up. So I think we're all kind of in the same boat on, you're in Panama City. Nice, dude. That's right. You are down in the warm weather. I forgot. I swear half you guys are down in Florida, man. I think I should move down to Florida soon, too. Yeah, just snap my fingers and do your stare. You can do it all by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm just going to up and move to Florida. We'll get there eventually. Maybe. We'll see. In order to do that, though, I'm going to need you guys to go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, share this video around with all your friends. Turn that notification bell on so you can be notified every time we go live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. here at youtube.com. #1 channel broadcasting from Grandma's Studio One. It's the Hat and Beard Show. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. That's what we love about you. Guys, try to have a good rest of your Tuesday. Get ready. Wednesday, once we hit Wednesday, it's all downhill from there as we ski on into week 6 of your NFL season. Shay out of trouble. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, I've been Hat and Beard. You've been an attentive audience. Panga panga. Frig off.